so you're ITIL Foundation certified, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Foundation.
Fine.
So yeah, that's another thing. I wanted to do an intermediate course in ITIL specifically for service design aspects or service operations, because that's the two major things that I deal with. But I somehow, when I started reading about it, I felt that I'm going in a different direction, because framework wise, I wanted something that I can help out in a larger framework, rather than having to go inside a process and then define that process. I think we have enough people who do that. I mean, project managers, they change that process whenever or however they were required. But I think at a higher level, when you are working with architects, or when you're at a higher level, when you're building, let's say, a data center, I would want to have that expertise, as you said, the futuristic vision in terms of how I should be able to, what I should be looking at. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm talking to you.
Correct. So yes, I think the services, because as you mature as a professional, your ability to look at everything as a service within an organization actually helps, because every service has an SLA, then a commitment towards the customer, and then how do you overall look as doing a mature part of looking at everything service as a service. So the more granular, the better, because everything these days in the age of cloud is being metered like electricity and water. So you pay only for what you use, and you only use to the extent you pay. It's all on demand and pay per use and pay per unit. So nobody wants any upfront investment. So when that is the case, then service uptime, downtimes are very important, and the SLAs around that. So if you have a good background around service discovery, the ITIL part of it, yes, that's going to help you quite a bit. So there are some masters. There's one master's side of things, and there is one practitioner side of service discovery. So after the ITIL V4 has come recently, you must have been ITIL V3, right?
No, I've also done V4
foundation.
So yeah, V4 foundation. That, I mean, it's not officially, right? When they say V3 or when they say V4, it's not officially out, right? I mean, they don't have.
It is out. Just I did it 2 months ago. Okay. It is out actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's officially out last. I think they announced it in Jan or Feb. So since then it is V4 now.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is the case, and then there is quite a bit of difference in what they mean when they see these two different things. Basically, we will see what that means. It is more holistic. The V4 is made more holistic in that sense, and it is about ensuring that it's a non-linear way to service discovery and service management, and everything happens in real time, dynamically, so that gives you more power and control over services than the V3 framework, where it was there, but it was not made very explicit. And they've also cut down on a lot of fat, what is there in the V3 in the V4. So they made it leaner and trimmer and meaner framework. So that is what it is. And I think, yes, that is one side of the things that you can actually focus on. And it's broad range of loyalty marketing services. So working on stakeholders to up using Unix servers, okay, and architecting solutions.
So we have only a set of 2 or 3 products that we cater to. So that's what we develop. So I have a good understanding of that part right now.
Okay.
As I said, I'm not able to tell them or give them more
because you will need to know what is actually, because if you are in the space of marketing and helping people generate marketing services, you should know what is really meant by going digital in their journeys. So that is very important, and there's a whole lot of discussion on what is going digital, because if you really play that card well, then it can surefire entice a lot of customers into your offerings, because everybody is looking to put their services as digital, So
Right.
a lot of people just say digital without really knowing the meaning of it. If you go to large companies also, they've put a lot of stickers near the coffee shops and all the other places in the office saying we're going digital, but they really don't know what actually is going digital. So I think going digital is one thing that I see that you should really know in your line of business, because though you're from the infra side of things, digital is what is going to touch the business side of stuff. So it could be as simple as stuff like you're putting contextual advertisements or marketing services. So if somebody is going to come to you, from to, like, you just search for a keyword and then the products related to that keyword pop up on your all your social streams like Google or Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or that kind of stuff. So that is one very simple example. The other one is like you just book an appointment and your Google Now, which is there in the Android or the Google Calendar, brings up saying that it's time for you to leave for that meeting. And if it is a far off place, he says it's time to catch up on the traffic because you might be having issues. And if you leave by this time, then it gives a prediction algorithm that by this time you can actually reach the traffic place. So that is going to be quite crucial in terms of serving a customer, knowing his context. So there is a lot of very good analogies in terms of doing that. Like in case you are having a context knowing refrigerator, so as soon as your milk supplies get over, this guy actually makes a call to the nearest grocer to fill it up automatically. So that's what people are looking at, that knowing your context, knowing the context of the customer, if you can help them, serve them, and win the business, then that's what they want to be in, rather than because everything else, everybody else also is doing. So if you can bring that flavor into your consulting part with the customers, then that's going to help a lot.
But this is not going to be what we are going to talk about, right? I mean, this is not part of. You're trying to give
exactly. This is more from the business side of things. Like it will be done by the business teams who sell your solutions. But from the infra side of things, keeping this in mind, you'll have to say that everything on the infra side also is going to help you meet these kind of demands. So we are on demand. We are. You pay only for what you use our services for. Then you can also say that we scale up and scale down our servers because it's all in the cloud, and we have auto scaling requirements which will help you to meet large nodes. Like in case you have a weekend spike in your network traffic or your load, then our servers will go up and go down and help you to match that kind of stuff. So you'll have to match whatever the business side says from the technology side of things. Till such time that you are playing a siloed role, which means you're focusing solely on the technology side and not much on the business. But over a period of time, you should be able to switch roles and talk business to business guys, technology to technology guys. That's where your maturity comes, and you will be able to grow as an individual quite quickly also.
I agree. I think this aspect is something I've not even thought about, because when I looked at the course, I was thinking it would be, I still think that it is more towards I would want to be a part of an enterprise or a part of an architect level person. So see, technically, yes, I have people who are doing that stuff, but I will have to do the hands-on on it. But I thought let's come back to the TOGAF certification and the training that I'm talking about. I feel that this would help me in setting the technology context in terms of understanding, as you said, first looking at the business aspect of it. But I want to make sure that I grow in terms of laying somebody wants some framework around, hey, how do I build this? I should be able to say, hey, let's look at this, and then we'll again come back to it to see if that meets the requirement. So do you think this will help me in getting that done, the TOGAF certification?
Yes. So it will help you to get overall good picture of it, because what happens is there are people who have actually, for reasons good or bad, they are stuck to only one side of things. Some people on the technology, some people only on the data. And when I went to Cisco, they were only on the networking side of things. And some people deep down at the VMware level, so they don't know anything about that. So, but that is not acceptable as you take up leadership roles in companies wherein you are accountable for P&L, getting projects, then creating, talking to them about various aspects of their business, because infra is one side of their whole business, but they are concerned that if you can spread across your thoughts on other aspects of it as to how you can help them in their business and connect the business technology dots together, they appreciate you as a seasoned leader, instead of saying, okay, I know only this aspect of it, and okay, if given a couple of servers, I can configure them well, I can optimize the load. But instead, your answer should be far more seasoned, in the sense that, okay, you guys are having actually a market, you're having a set of marketing servers which have these kind of critical loads, and then I see that during the mid of the month and the end of the month, your peak loads are very high, and we'll use auto scaling features of these things, or we will have uptime, downtime, failovers are taken care using blue-green deployments. We can actually help you doing. So if you talk to him that kind of articulation, then your maturity as a person who really understands their pain improves a lot. And once that happens, then obviously it is win-win for both you and them. And they get a feeling that they're talking to a matured person who knows what he's talking about, and who's a true transformation partner, as opposed to just somebody who's there to support my stuff.
So I think you made a good point. I think that's a very good point that I can make, because see, exactly as you said, we are just building those systems. We are finding the best way of building those systems, but I think at the back end, we are not asking them, hey, what do you want to do? What is your primary focus? Well, I mean, as you said just now, is their load going to increase at a drastic rate? Then let's do this. I think that's what is missing right now from me. And I mean, that's what I wanted to know. You think that this would be a good starting point in terms of the...
Yes, it's a good starting point. Foundation. Plus, I was just telling you the other courses that I was telling you, the digital thing, and the agile model of delivery in today's world. So if you patch up those parts in your stuff, then you will look good in terms of customer interactions, and basically polish your communication with the stakeholders.
So what kind of roles can I mean, I don't think I can apply for, once I do this, and then as you said, these the digital discovery aspects, and how or why people are going digital, and the agile methodology. What kind of roles do you think I can apply to? Because
you can actually become a solution architect. You can become a solution architect. You could become a product architect, like you're focusing on one particular product aspect of it. You could become an engineering manager. You could become...
So when you say an engineering manager...
Yeah, but engineering manager, not the development side of things, not the application side of things,
sure.
but from an infra perspective. From an infra perspective, the engineering manager in companies like, in core techie companies like Cisco, then VMware, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So my question to you, Kiran, is when I look at these, when I look at the word solutions architect and product architect, maybe something that I would require some more time for, because I don't interact so much in that realm. But for engineering manager, I think this is what I would want to be looked at. But the problem is, if you don't have hands-on, if I'm not certified in the other core levels like the Azures and the AWS, I don't think I have a stand when I'm going to
very much
on the managers.
Correct. You actually, this is just one part of the whole puzzle. You still need to know your technology bits quite well. You need to know your cloud bits quite well. You need to know your AWS or Azure or Google GCP. One of them, you need to know, you need to be certified in one of them. And then all of this definitely will add a lot of color to the whole resume. You need to know both these things. You need to know this as well as that. If you know that and don't know this, you'll still be a poor communicator. But
right, the people they are pretty good at what they do. I mean, in terms of AWS, etc.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I feel that I don't because I'm not doing it on hand, or I'm not doing it hands-on. So I'm thinking that I cannot even apply or look at engineering manager or a architect kind of a role. And that's where I need
as long
help.
as you know stuff, you could manage the show. You know things, how it's done, and it's you should be getting an AWS or an Azure certification, whichever is your liking. So get one of them, and then you should be good actually, because if you're able to connect the dots, get work done, and then you should be able to talk that language.
Okay, I mean primarily the architectural, the foundation again. The TOGAF 9.2 is the most recent one from what I've seen, and so the 4-day course will give me. I mean, I know the content. It was published in your site, so I know what is going to be told. And then once I have that, I mean a 4-day course and then a voucher for 35,000, right?
Correct.
That is when I can go and apply it on any Pearson. Can we do that in the same week as well? I mean,
you can do it, but typically it is recommended that you spend at least 2 to 3 weeks of self-study, because that's what 80 to 90% of the people do, that they spend that time to study that, and then only they do the things. So otherwise you're risking money, right?
Who would be giving that training? I mean, would you be giving the, let's say I've just checked the training schedule for, I mean, your company. I think May.
I'll be giving the training. I'll be giving the training.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I wanted to confirm that as well.
Yeah, I'll be giving the training, and so you will need at least 2 to 3 weeks of self-study before you can attempt it, because it's costing so many dollars, and if you don't prepare well, then you risk losing one attempt. That kind of stuff. So
how, I mean, if you have done that certification, I mean, in terms of context, how or what are their queries about? I mean,
yeah, it is just about the framework. Basically, it is not about measuring what you know. It is about how much you know about the framework per se, and that kind of stuff. So it's very easy to crack. It's not difficult. After the course and self-study, I will guide you through that, and then you given some mock dumps also. So if you do that, you should be in a good position to crack it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm certain there'll be many people who would be asking this question, right? Because I would want to make sure my company will not pay out if I do not pass through the certificate.
Absolutely correct. But that chance is very, very remote. I think almost next to 99.xxx have passed. So all the people I've trained so far, one guy has failed, and he also cleared in the second attempt. So he had some English issues about articulation and not knowing the meanings of certain things. So he was, but he also cleared in the second attempt. So he's the only guy who kind of failed so far.
I mean, I will put my 100% in this. So
the way I'm seeing you're articulating and recollecting facts and talking in perspective, I don't see you having any issue with it.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's what I had, Kiran. So yeah.
And so I think good thing you let me know when you want to come back.
I think May 18, 19 is what I'll do right now is I'll send across my information in terms of send across my intent, and I'm certain that it should not be a problem for me to go through. But yeah, as I said, I will be paying that out, and then as I do the certification, then only then I'll be able to get that back. So that's one of the things that's also on my mind, because it's been about 11 years. I mean, apart from the ITIL that I did like in 2014 maybe, but ideally they called it V4, but yeah, it never was there on the sheet on that. So yeah, so that is, apart from that, I have not done a certification in 11 years, and so this is a jittery time for me as well. So I'll have to get back in the game and start doing this.
Correct. I understand what you're saying. Okay. If you've not done anything, yeah, you need to be in that zone of getting to learn stuff and be keeping your mind open. But yeah, it's quite doable. Not a lot of people have done that, so I don't see an issue with what you're saying. So I think you just let me. And what about the other things, the digital part and the agile things?
So right now,
you could even start it in parallel also, because it is a couple of videos. You just watch 1 hour a day. Either you're in travel or you're going to come back home, so you can just watch it on your iPad or laptop or whatever is the case, and then make notes about it, because that will help you to fast pace your overall learning stuff. Because if you say you do TOGAF, and then it can go hand in hand, because once you do the framework level stuff, you'll only there are a lot of people who've done it very theoretically and cleared it, but still they are not confident of talking to people, because they have very limited knowledge. So it can start in parallel is my feeling, but I leave it to you.
Okay. Sure. So as part of that, I wanted to also ask, can we club that into the overall training? I mean, you spoke about a certain amount for the training, right? Can we do all of that in a bundle? And then if you can give me that, what do you call?
The group pricing?
Yeah, group pricing. I mean, maybe if you can bundle that into it, then as I said, I'll be...
Then you claim it from your office.
Right. So maybe not as a video or any specs, because we have a lot of, I mean, in the company, as I spoke to you about Pluralsight, right? There was also Linda that we have access to, and there are...
So basically what I'll do is I'll put it in such a fashion that it look to your managers that you're actually going through those kind of trainings. But it'll be a blended mix of, I'll walk you through certain parts, you'll be watching certain videos. So it'll be a blend of both. And then, so I think this costs around 72,000. So both together, the agile and this, I'll put it at 1,05,000 and give you a combined bundle.
Sure. Yeah, I think whatever pricing, just share it with me with the content. And
okay, you want an invoice also for that, right? So can you give your official the address? I'll write it down.
Sure.
So it is
I'll ping you. It's raviprakash.polumuru@epsilon. I can ping you that info.
So you just ping me the address, that you want me to, because when I'm raising an invoice, should I raise it in your name, or should it be the finance guy's name and the address in the invoice? So just put that across.
So I will be paying it. So yeah, you can.
I'll bill it to you. Okay, I'll bill it to you.
Just an estimate for now, and if you can send that out. Kiran, I think if you have 5 more minutes. Agile is something my company has been trying to. I mean, we have a whole lot of managers in my company. Right? We have, I think, about 15 managers who are who constantly meet up every week and discuss about what every bi-weekly, and we discuss about these aspects, about what certifications to do. And one of the things that had come up was ITIL intermediate. Okay, but because we are split among delivery and operations, we could not come to a consensus saying, hey, we will do this and this will be benefit for everyone. Okay, correct. But what we had discussed and accepted was agile was something, and because we are in the infra side of it, we were trying to get to a person who could train the managers on agile. Okay.
I mean, I can do that actually. Pass on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because I know what I used to. There's something called Scrum for infra guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in the sense, like there is a set of how do you apply the lean and agile principles for infra projects? Because for you, it's not application development. It is about getting to know the crux of what it means to really go agile, fail fast, fail forward, fail cheap, and then iterate with the customer, learn quickly, and build upon transactional architectures and learn
Right.
iteratively. So those
I
kind
think,
of
yeah, that will be a good way of. Sorry to cut you off.
yeah.
So what I can do is I can actually put your. I mean, for infra related agile, I think 90% of us are interested. Okay,
Oh,
so
fantastic.
this is, yeah. So what I would request you to do is
Mm.
I will again circulate a message right away today to my managers team, and then I know that there is a person who has a list of people who are already interested, and one of them was me. But what we were not able to relate to, as you rightly pointed out, we don't want the 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 other aspect of it. Infra is what we are interested in. Yes, if you can give us some overview of, hey, this is how they do it. I mean, the product development teams do it, then that's okay. But what we majorly want is 80-90%. You talk about, hey, how you can implement it in your system, in
Yes,
your
yes,
present system.
absolutely. So yeah, I have some
Because
perspectives on that. I'll
yeah.
definitely give that.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
and what is happening currently is, so just to give you an overview, we have a consulting team, a design team, and a transition team. Okay, so the flow that is happening from the marketing team to the consulting team to the design team is a waterfall right now. I mean, that's what I can think of. Waterfall method, where somebody gives you a spec and then you basically go ahead and build that, and then the application team comes in and says, hey, I needed a jump box, I needed another load balancer. So this is what is happening right now. Everything is becoming very one. So you go back to the consulting team for getting these approvals for these additional hardware or additional thing that needs to be set up. So I think what we need in Scrum is the constant feedback, right? You take it as a, I mean, I don't know the exact terminology in Agile, but I know there are methods, iterative, we call them goals. Every week you will have a sprint, right? Every 2 weeks or
Correct, correct.
you can define
You can
sprint
define
and
the length and the time of it.
right,
So you can have a sprint cycle, and then you can say this is how my requirements are defined, and then how do you use lean and Kanban and agile together for infra projects? Because agile and Scrum might be good for development teams, but let us say that you are in the issue of just ticket solving right now. You don't have too many big ticket items. So you just want to see visually how the work flows. Okay, so what is the things to be done? What is in progress? What gets cleared? What is the backlog? And then how do you develop a release cadence and then quickly iterate and get feedback from the customer? So that entire process has to be streamlined, and you can use a mixture of these technologies to do that. And then you have DevOps, then that also comes into the picture.
Yes, perfect. So see, we are a team that actually consists of design leads and managers.
Okay, then I've got something very interesting also that I'm planning with a lot of other companies, which is something called consultative selling and design thinking, and how to innovate in your projects. So how can you be, because most of the guys who are in IT are so stuck to the logical side of things, because they don't know the creative side of how you need to use both sides of the brain and how you can be effective. So how to be creative, how to be innovative, how to use design thinking for solving real life problems. So that is going to be something that's a half day, one day session that I'm doing for certain companies. So that also,
yeah, that aspect, I think, so I just want to give you some insight. There is only one person that does consulting for us. So yeah, it is pretty much, I mean, we are locked out of it right now. That's a certain thing that I can tell you. What is happening is there is in the consulting realm, that's we are a US based company, and these people are in the system for more than 20 years now. So when a requirement comes in, they quickly gather the information
portion of it, so that you look like a
Okay.
mature person and you're not doing firefighting and doing only
Okay.
that kind of stuff. You need
Okay.
to do that. And transition manager, you need to security policies. So you will need to do service management improvement plans, KPIs, recalibrate the standards, responsible day-to-day established processes, getting things done, server deployments, hardware refresh, server builds, online promises over a period of time, responsible designs of solutions. Yeah, I think you just need to add that service delivery thing
Okay.
in picture and articulate your skills better in terms of putting a little bit more of cloud and on-demand kind of services.
Okay.
You need to say that you're doing that and throw in elements of virtualization and also put
Okay.
some numbers on how did you optimize hardware, software, and the technology stacks.
Okay. Great. Great.
You'll need to
Yeah.
give those numbers and basically it's not